Alright, Zane gang, for today's video we are going to talk about why this weapon right here is so excruciatingly strong on Zane, the Redistributor. I want to talk about why it's doing things like it is. Now, this might be common knowledge to some of you, but I was pretty surprised on what I figured out about why this weapon was so strong. And it is purely a Zane thing. It's pretty crazy when we get into it. I mean, just watch how fast I shred through the bridge. This is my speed run from yesterday, my 6:59 I got. Just decimates everything so fast. I would say it's the strongest weapon in the game right now, by far. Let's go over why this baby is so strong. Alright, the Redistributor. Here it is right here. This is an exclusive drop from Wotan the Invincible. Pretty annoying to farm, but if you were in my giveaway, you all probably have a very nice variant like this. It's not active anymore, sadly, but if you have one, you probably realize how stupidly strong this thing is. Let's go over it. So it has some basic SMG stats for a Hyperion weapon, almost a 10 fire rate on this variant. Low magazine size, crit damage is up. Some weapon accuracy. I have a decent sight on this one. I have a really good anointment with the Sentinel Cryo Boost. But what the Redistributor does, it says man's reach exceeds his imagination. The actual unique perk about the Redistributor is every 7th shot is amped. Amped shots chain to nearby enemies. Read that? So like, I'll show you. Let's go up to some enemies right here and we'll see. So you'll see every 7th shot will start chaining to nearby enemies. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I didn't reach. There we go. See that chain right there? You get the chain every few shots like that, which is nice. Deals a lot of damage on its own. Pretty crazy weapon. I think it's the only thing that actually chains like that. It's doing a lot of damage just on its own right. But when Zane buffs it, does even more damage, which we will go over real quick. So just a single target, it does a lot of damage with a good seen dead build, obviously. But what are the abilities that you see people run at the Redistributor? What do I run at the Redistributor that I didn't realize I should have been running? You run Sentinel Barrier, correct? Well, we're running Sentinel just because it's giving us that cryo damage, right? Well, and it's just good to have for an infinite action skill type of build like this is. And then we're running the Barrier. Now, why do we run the Barrier instead of Clone? Because the Barrier increases our damage and it gives us more utility than the Clone, right? Well, as we're running the Barrier, we don't realize we're doing something pretty crazy, okay? I found this out 2 days ago after thinking about it, because I was dropping into Valkyries and noticing my damage drop off when the Barrier wasn't there and when it was there. Why is that? Like, I couldn't take out, like, you know, normally I take out Valkyries in probably 5 seconds, 6 seconds when I drop in. If Barrier's not there, it's a good 30 to 40 seconds. Now, why is that? Let's go over it real quick. What does Barrier do? Drop up a deployable Barrier that blocks incoming projectiles. Zane and his allies can shoot through the Barrier, dealing increased gun damage. Pressing LB or RB while Barrier is active picks up and holds the Barrier, but the size and bonuses are decreased. Duration is 14 seconds, cooldown is 24 seconds. Now look at that bottom one. What does it say? Damage amp plus 25%. What does this mean? It means we are amping our bullets. Okay, so every bullet that's coming out of our Barrier is amped. You'll notice that your Cutsmans change colors and a lot of other projectiles change colors when you shoot them out of the Barrier. Well, what do we know? So every single shot coming out of the Barrier is amped. Now, what do we know about the Redistributor? When we look at the Redistributor on the bottom, it says 2 different sentences here. It says every 7th shot is amped. That's the first sentence. The second sentence says amped shots chain to nearby enemies. Think about that. Amped shots chained to nearby enemies. This is only supposed to proc every 7 shots, but the Barrier is amping every single bullet, which weirdly enough collaborates with the Redistributor and makes it so every single shot chains. So it's an extremely fast brainstormer. I will show you like so. I'm putting the Barrier on, and every single shot is going to chain and hit the nearest target. Every single one. There's not a close enough target for this. You gotta get some more enemies. See, there's some up here. Just one bullet. One bullet will chain every single time as long as it's shot through barrier. That's pretty crazy. That's why this is so strong. That's why you can walk through Slaughter Shaft and the takedown with this weapon on Zane. It is purely a Zane weapon. This, when people say, you know, they're using it on Amara, Flak, and Mo's, I'm sure it's probably doing decent, but you can see why it meshes on Zane so well, and that's why Zane's the meta right now. It's just purely because he's making every single shot like a brainstormer, chaining and just destroying ads. It's pretty crazy. I don't think it was the actual intended collaboration of the Redistributor. Maybe it was a secret buff to Zane that they wanted people to figure out. I don't know, but it is really good to combo the two, and I was pretty mind blown when I figured it out. Another thing I would like to note is if you equip things like the rerouter or any shield that amps, it will do the same thing, but only off the amped shot, obviously. With the other characters, you could potentially drop an ohm on the ground, because I don't know if you know what the ohm does. I don't have the shield here, sadly. The O.M. When it breaks, it'll leave a pool on the ground, which all your shots are amped out of. I'm sure when you stand in that with the Redistributor, you could probably chain all the bullets there too. So if you're thinking about that, you could probably make a nice flak build with the Redistributor too, since he's good at standing still. Just break your shield and stand in the amp, and you're gonna chain every shot. But there you guys go. That's my explanation of why the Redistributor is so strong on Zane. How many of you guys know this? Could you let me know how many of you knew this and how many are surprised? I mean, it's pretty obvious after you figure it out, huh? It's like, why didn't I think about that earlier? It's pretty mind-blowing to me. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that thumbs up button, and please make sure you are also subscribed to the channel. I will see you guys in the next one. Spikes out!